Hi! Grab a drink and let's make Chinese tea eggs. Chinese tea eggs are an extremely common food item that you could find pretty much anywhere in China or other assorted Asian countries. You can find them in convenience stores and street vendors and local shops. They are hard-boiled eggs steeped in the flavors of tea and soy sauce and all sorts of other stuff that you put in there. Pretty much you're getting exactly what the name suggests, like fly swatter, vegetable peeler, fox news. They're super easy to make and they're absolutely delicious, but really, why would I say anything else about anything that I make on this channel? I get it. Many Americans have never heard of Chinese tea eggs, or never even thought of the idea of combining tea and eggs. Of course, this is what some Americans claim to be the food that's taking over the world, so semantics aside, this is probably one of my favorite way to enjoy eggs, period, like ever. Seriously, I could probably eat like a dozen of these in one sitting, and that's not just because I'm drunk. Here's what you're gonna need. Oh, hello there. 1 dozen chicken periods, 1 cinnamon joint wrapper, 2 dried baby Patricks, 4 tablespoons of light Asian blood, 4 tablespoons of dark Asian blood. Now, if you don't have this, you can just use 4 more tablespoons of the light Asian blood, 2 strips of Florida testicle skins, 1 teaspoon of powdered diabetes, 1 teaspoon of dyed prickly ash. Seriously, this product name was so funny that I didn't even come up with a name for it. I just wanted to show you this. 2 tablespoons of Mariah Carey and Kermit the Frog's favorite beverage. Now, you can use several different types of tea. You can use green tea or black tea. Now, I'm using oolong tea, which is kind of sort of in the middle. There's some sciencey explanation for that, but you know what? I have had too many of these to even care. So, you know, just use whatever tea that you got lying around. Disclaimer, it is very important that if you have tea leaves or you have access to tea leaves, use tea leaves. I don't, for some strange reason, even though my local Chinatown has an aisle dedicated to tea. If you are using packets, you're gonna wanna use about 1 packet per egg. So 12. We're gonna start off by soft boiling the eggs. So, fill a pot with some water, enough water to cover the eggs of about, okay, random cat hair, don't, okay, what, okay, well, now I need more water. Fill a pot with enough water to cover the eggs about, just about 1 inch or so. Just see if we're gonna get, yeah, that looks good to me. Set this to boil. Now you're gonna wanna very carefully lower your eggs into the pot, making sure that you're doing it very gently as to not break them. You do not want them to break on the way in. If you just drop them in there, they're gonna crack. They're not gonna be made well. It's not gonna be good. Gently, like you're cradling the nuclear code to the North Korean warheads. I'm using a hold slotted spoon thingamajigger. So yeah, if you don't have one of these, you know, use, I don't know, something. Just don't crack them. Lower the heat to about medium-high or so, and then let these simmer for about 3 minutes. All right, it's been about 3 minutes. Take these eggs and drain them very carefully. Run them under some cold water for a couple of minutes. In fact, set them in the bath of cold water and leave them there for a couple of minutes until they're cool to the touch. There we go, doesn't burn your fingers. With a spoon, lightly tap the egg all over, cracking the eggshell, but not enough to break it. Or I guess that's the definition of whatever. Anyway, crack it all over, and then repeat with the rest of the eggs. All right, these eggs have been pretty lightly cracked all around. Maybe that was a little bit too hard. You know, I may have gone a little hard on that egg. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm really not sorry at all. Now you're going to gently return these to the pot and fill the pot with water enough to cover the eggs. You know, I should have used a smaller pot, but really, when was less pot good for anyone? So now you're gonna add in your cinnamon stick, 2 or 3 star anise, depending on how big your pieces are, a teaspoon of your peppercorn, a couple of strips of your orange peel. This is difficult to do when drunk. A teaspoon of sugar, 4 tablespoons of your light soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of your dark soy sauce. Come on. And finally, 2 tablespoons of your tea, which if you're using tea bags, looks something like this. Should probably unwrap them first. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and trust my hastily converted measurements and trust that this is about 2 tablespoons, so oh dear. I didn't think this through. This is why you cook sober, because then you don't get a bunch of papery crap in your food. Is that all of them? Great. Bring this to a boil. All right, it's boiling. Let's take a look. That looks, well, like Chinese hobo mulligan stew. Stir it around a little bit as gently as you possibly can. Gently. Ah, that's hot. Ooh. And then you're gonna put this on low, recap it, and you're gonna simmer this for 40 minutes. Once the 40 minutes is up, you're gonna wanna turn your heat off. Give it one last little stir. These eggshells are practically falling apart, so a lot of the, I don't know, broth, the stew and the whatnot has gotten in to the egg, which is perfectly fine because of the way that my mom used to make them. She used to make it and peel the eggs entirely, so you know what, it doesn't really even matter. We're, you know, trying new things here. And, you know, we don't have mistakes here. We just have, actually it's a mistake. Shame on you and dishonor on your cow. Once these have completely cooled, transfer them to a big container. There we go, perfect fit. Kind of move this stuff around so that the eggs get the most soakage as possible. Cover it. This isn't the right size. In fact, there's a leak in this. Oh yeah, there's a pretty sizable leak in that. Abandon. Pour into the one that doesn't have a damn leak. And if you don't have your own cover, impromptu fashion one. And then you're gonna refrigerate this overnight. All right, new container, this time with a lid. Going into the fridge overnight. Anyway, these are ready. Heat these up just a little bit, just to get them nice and warm. If you prefer, if you like them cold, you know, you do you. Okay, so let's find out how these taste. Look at the marbling on these, like this is amazing. It turned out even better than I thought it would, except for this weird red-headed stepchild here. I have brought along my token American palate here, or as some people might call it, the token white boy. Pick an egg. Cheers. Here we go. Okay, what do you think? Give him a second.
Could just be the American in me, but a little salt.
I'm definitely gonna add a little salt.
But definitely not bad though. Egg flip.
I normally make these without the shell, and I feel like without the shell, the egg tends to absorb all the other, all of that flavor. Instead of the shell absorbing it, they taste really, really good. I could seriously eat a dozen of these right now. Don't forget, if you like our drunken antics and you want to see more stuff, or you have any recommendations or anything, please let us know in the comments below. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and, you know, all that other stuff. So, yeah, see you next week. Bye. It looks like one of those, like, velociraptor eggs from Jurassic Park, except instead of a voracious, meat-eating dinosaur that's gonna kill us all, it's just gonna be a delicious egg.